Hello and welcome to another episode of the Impactful Introvert podcast. I'm your host, Seema Pateel, a business coach for introverted women, and I help introverted women who are just like me figure out a way to sign clients with ease and comfort using marketing strategies that are tailored to their personality and their lifestyle. For me, it has always been the goal to find a marketing strategy and a marketing plan which I can implement consistently, and I can do so without feeling like I am trying to do something super hard all of the time. Marketing is a daily activity, so trying to do it the hardest possible way is not going to be most effective. That's not going to help me be consistent. And I realized that a little uh, while after starting my business back in 2017. So back then I was ready to do anything, and then I tried to do a lot of things. I did sign clients as a WordPress developer, but that also meant I was not loving the things that I was doing in a day to day basis, which means I didn't have a business that I loved. I loved doing the coding aspect of it. What I didn't like was the marketing. And that made it difficult for me to consistently show up. It would be a lot of work and effort and energy that I had to put in even before I started marketing, which obviously meant I wasn't always able to be consistent and give my 100% as I wanted to. And as I was thinking about this, something made me think about it this week. And as I was thinking about it, I thought I must not be the only person who feels like marketing has to feel um, as effortless as possible. The delivery aspect of my client work has to feel effortless, because if all of it is feeling like I have to put in so much effort just to get things done and reach the goals that I have, then either I'm going to keep my goals really small, because that is the only way to reduce the amount of effort and energy that I have to put in, or I'm not going to be able to be consistent, because things come up when you're not in your 20s, when you have young kids to take care of, and when you want to prioritize things other than work, then it becomes hard to be in that very uh, focused, high energy, only give kind of phase. And come to think of it, I thought about it because I was think I was scrolling Instagram like I often do when I don't want to do anything and I just want to have a mind numbing moment. And somebody talked about diet, and it was again the same thing that I've been hearing for decades now, that diets don't help you like you want it to. It is a momentarily thing. You Yes, you will lose some weight, but to keep it off, you have to make a lifestyle change. And I suddenly thought, yeah, you have to do that with your marketing as well. You cannot say, I'll eat healthy and lose some weight for the next 7 days, 10 days, or whatever, and that it'll stick. It's the same with marketing as well. You cannot say, I'll push for 10 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days so that I start signing clients, and then I don't have to do it anymore. But that's not how marketing works. And I know that a lot of business owners who are fairly in their new growth stage, who are not just beginning but who have already started and have started signing clients, but are still unsure what is working, why it is working, and how they can make it simple and easy so that it's doable, are in this mindset of, I only have to do marketing for some time. After that, I will delegate it. And I'd like to bring this to your attention that it's your business, it's your marketing. You can never completely delegate it unless you want to become a company, whether it is 10 people, 15 people, where you want to become that large a company where it is justifiable to bring in a marketing expert and a marketing team altogether and pay them. If you're looking to be the sole owner and lead a team of no more than 3 to 5 people, then marketing is always going to be your responsibility. And that means you need to know how to market, and sales will also, like, I should not uh, forget about sales. That is something that is very common when people are looking about signing clients. We always talk about marketing. What can you do to market? How can you market better? How can you make it easy to market? But I see this happening so often where people tend to forget the sales aspect. Your marketing could be amazing, but you're not converting enough people into clients because your sales is not getting as much attention. So you're the marketing, sales, and delivery team in your business. Irrespective of how big you grow, unless you're growing to 150 people, it is not going to get off your plate completely. So you need to be completely aware of how to market and how to sell. And that is something that I wanted to bring attention to you, because it's easy to feel frustrated when the plan that you made isn't bringing in the results as you expected it. And it's even easier to have shiny object syndrome with all of the content to consume, with all of the ideas coming to you in 30-second or 60-second reels and short video format. And it's even easier when you have a tool like ChatGPT where you keep inputting, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's a great help to map out the entire thing. So it feels really easy now to jump from one strategy to another just because it didn't bring in results. But I want you to understand that the reason someone is sharing that the strategy that they use is working is not so that you will blindly take their strategy and implement it. They are saying it so that you can adapt that framework or that strategy to your personality and your business. That is what these people are also doing. Anyone who is trying to teach you a specific way is doing it firstly because it is helping them get to their goals. Secondly, that doesn't mean they are not trying other things. They are trying other things in the background, and they are not in a rush to see the results from their experiments. They are doing those experiments so that they can improve whatever is currently going on in their business, whether it is a single person who is their entire business itself, or whether it's a small team of 2 or 3 people to help them. Those who are seeing success with their strategy are always testing, experimenting, and tweaking. They do have one fallback strategy that has always worked for them. And I'll be honest, from all of my observation, I have noticed is all of these people have fallen into that as their fallback strategy, not because they got an idea, they implemented it, and it worked. It may have worked the first time, but it did not necessarily work every single time. They had to understand, learn, and make tweaks so that the strategy solidified and started bringing results every single time. So if you're looking at anybody and thinking they must have had it easy, then I want to assure you, yes, they may have had certain aspects easy. However, to replicate that success over and over for years, they had to learn, they had to test, they had to experiment, they had to figure out, they had to learn to read their data, they had to learn to engage with their people, they had to learn to ask them questions, and when the answers didn't really come, they had to figure out how to get those answers. So there has been a lot of trial and error that has been going on in their business that helped them get to the success that you're looking at and you're aspiring to, but feeling frustrated that they have it and I don't. And then you're trying to nitpick why you don't have it rather than trying to figure out how you can have it. It's very easy to say, I'm an introvert, so probably that is where the problem is. I am shy, probably that is where the problem is. And I'll be honest, that is the initial hurdle. However, I strongly believe that the biggest hurdle is you are not sticking with a strategy and experimenting with it. And again, I believe this is happening mainly because you do not have support or the right kind of support. If you're working with someone who has very little experience in the kind of business that you want to run and they are unable to help you, they're unable to coach you or guide you into figuring out how to make this strategy your own, then you have the wrong support. And if you don't have support at all, then I'll be honest, it is not that easy to not fall for the trap of I'm doing something wrong and I need to fix it, but I don't know. So let's try a different strategy altogether. Maybe I'll be able to get success with that. It is a very common feeling, and it's not just happening in business. Let me tell you, like, if a recipe flops for me, I am looking for somebody else, another person who has shared the same recipe, because if I want to make that thing, I'm not going to not make it. I'm just going to look at another expert who's teaching. And that is what you're doing. There are so many experts, so easily sharing all of their secrets with you, that it becomes easy to fall into this false sense of maybe I was doing something wrong, maybe that was not the right thing. And the words that are being used by marketers, they make it hard to not feel like they're speaking to you. I mean, amazing that their messaging is working, but are you really the person? You have to figure that out for yourself. It's not their job to eliminate you completely. Yeah, like it's taught by all the marketers and business coaches that you have to speak to your person, and it's good if people are walking away from you, if they are getting repelled by your actions or your statements. That just shows that you're talking to the right, more of the right people, and all of that is great. But when it comes to being on the receiving end, you have to do the same thing. You have to make sure you have a filter that lets in information that is helpful to you. I, over time, have developed this attitude of filtering everything. I love someone, anybody I come across, and if I loved what they said, I am not immediately going to gravitate towards their way as the right way. That was me back in 2018, maybe even 2019. But now I evaluate, and after just about 6 months of following that person, I realize what is going on in their business, and I get to see the different aspect. Like, the marketer who is creating amazing content is different from the person who is implementing in their business. They are speaking something that their audience wants to hear while doing things that are going to build their business. It's not that they are out of integrity, but they are, it's like I said, they have a fallback, and they sell what they can really sell well. But that doesn't mean they are not trying other things. They are not experimenting. They are not looking to grow their business. They don't want to be stuck in that single bubble which is working very well. They want to expand, and that is how a business owner should be, honestly. That is the job of a CEO. So here's me after almost 15 minutes of all of this, trying to convey to you that if things are not working in your business, if your strategy feels like it's not working, I don't want you to scrap it. I don't want you to be tempted by other strategies available that you don't know if it'll work for you or not, that you don't know how to adapt to your personality and your lifestyle. I want you to look at data. I want you to look at what you're doing, how you're doing, audit yourself. My episode 27, I think, should help you in this. Go back to it, listen to it, and evaluate. Really, are you doing what you what really lights you up when it's marketing, or are you just trying to get through the motions for the next 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days so that you can sign a client and not have to worry about marketing? Because that mindset is not going to help you. You have to keep marketing. I mean, you see ads for Coke and Nike and all the big names that you can think about. There are flyers and whatnot. So if they are spending so much money on marketing, then that is the thing that I want you to take away, that you're never escaping marketing. You're always going to have to figure out your marketing. And since you're not going to be a huge company, if you're not going to be a huge company, let's not like let's put that out there. If you're not going to be a huge company, then you need to be very well aware of what's working in your marketing, what's working for your sales, what's converting, and how to deliver in a way that feels amazing to you and your clients. That is all for today. That is all I wanted to share in this short episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.